If you love old trucks, you're gonna love this thing. This is a 1971 Chevy Cheyenne. Now the trucks out in the market today are, I have to say, they're beautiful, yes. But they're super expensive, they're full of all the bells and whistles. Why can't they just make a truck that is like this? Back in the 70s and 80s, these trucks, they were awesome. Of course, I wasn't around in the 70s to actually enjoy them, but I appreciate them now. Let me know down below, do you remember driving trucks like this? So, comparing trucks like this to the brand new trucks that we have today, I mean, there's a huge gap difference, of course. But let me know down below, would you rather have an old classic girl like this, or would you rather have a brand new Silverado or Ford F-250 that's decked out with all the bells and whistles? Let me know down below. So if you have an old classic vehicle, for instance, like this old classic truck, how do you care for it properly so as to not get horrible fading and swirls like this? Well, this is a garage queen and kind of a show truck as well. So once we get this up to the desired standard that the customer wants, it's going to be easier to maintain because it's not driven or used as a work vehicle all the time. So it will be better preserved. So I'm going to show you some products and some tools to use that are easy to get that will help you to maintain this beautiful finish. Well, it's going to be beautiful, you'll see. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss stuff. So the truck is jet black and it's been repainted, but it does have a lot of swirling and fading going on. We need to reduce that. So we're going to reduce, not completely remove, because that's not what the customer is paying for. They're paying for a paint enhancement. So that means 50 to 75% of the defects, swirls, light scratches, and the haziness in the paint removed. It's going to bring back the gloss, it's going to restore clarity, and overall it's going to look incredible. Now here we have a couple of different options for waterless or rinseless washing. What's the difference? I have a video, go check that out. I explain the differences between a waterless and a rinseless. Today we're going to use a rinseless wash to clean the truck initially, and after, since it's garage kept, if it gets just a light bit of dust on the paint surfaces, it's okay to use a waterless wash. Basically means you can spray the product onto the paint, use a clean towel or multiple towels to effectively clean the paint. It's not going to swirl or scratch because of the formulations of these waterless washes. They have lubricating agents in them. They also have protective agents in them. So you're cleaning and you're leaving protection behind as well. There's many different options for waterless washing. I'll have some of the options down below. You can pick what suits your needs. For today's rinseless wash, I'm going to use the DIY Detail Rinseless Wash. This is a very concentrated product. It emulsifies dirt and debris. It lubricates really well. And for this type of product, you can actually apply it in a foam cannon, which is really cool. Now, we're not going to wash the truck traditionally today, like I mentioned. So we're going to do a traditional rinseless wash instead. So all you need is a few ounces per gallon. I have about 4 gallons in the bucket here. The concentration on this says to put 1 ounce for every 2 gallons. So 2 ounces, that's 60 milliliters roughly. If you want to be precise, it's nice to have little measuring cups. Now you may also notice that I'm using a sponge. I don't always use sponges. In this case, I'm using it today just because I want to show the different options, but you can also choose to just put 6 to 8 microfiber towels in here as well, have them soak, then you can use those microfibers to wash the paint also. Today I'm just using a sponge, so you can pick whatever you're comfortable with. Another cool tip that I picked up from the DIY Detail guys, Ivan LaCroix and Nick McGurkin, is the easiest way to dilute in a bottle like this with this solution is you just dump it in and fill it up. Ta-da! That was so easy. Why didn't anyone else think of that? All right, let's wash the truck. So here's how we do this. You see debris on here, right? It's light enough to clean with a rinseless wash. So what we're going to do is saturate the surface first. And yes, you can put this in a pump spray bottle to make it easier. For demonstration purposes, I'm just putting it in here because I don't do a ton of rinseless washing and I reserve my pump sprayers for other chemicals. That's the reason why I'm using this. But yes, put it in a pump spray bottle, less fatigue in your hands. Now this is going to emulsify. It's going to soften the dirt and the dust and the junk on the paint. Then when you go in for your washing, it's going to add lubricity and cleaning agents. Gently with no pressure. Do a section about yay big, and you'll see the junk on the mitt. Rinse it out in the bucket. If you have a grit guard in your bucket, just smush it down below, and we're good to go again. Now at this point, you can also feel the paint, and since we are polishing, we want to decontaminate the paint. Do we have to use iron and tar removers at this point? No, we don't. This is more of a garage clean. It's not daily driven. We're not going to that extent. There's no need for that. Only use decon chemicals if it needs it. How can you tell if black paint needs to be iron deconned? Feel the paint. Don't use the chemical arbitrarily. Doesn't make sense. I know you can't see the iron bits that may be in the paint, but feel the paint. If it's smooth, don't be overly concerned about that. Polish it, protect it, even do a ceramic coating, because once you've gone through all those steps, clay barring it, polishing it, it's going to remove those little bonded iron particles that might be in the paint. They're not embedded so deep that they're never going to come out unless you use chemical. Doesn't make sense. Plus, this is repainted, it's a show truck, we don't need to do that. Now for the deconning, I'm gonna use a clay mitt. Clay barring does work, but it's very aggressive. In this paint, I already can feel it's very smooth, so you really don't need to be aggressive with it. Clay mitts are not as aggressive, but I can hear it picking up some stuff. Or that could be overspray. Sometimes with these repaints, you'll get overspray, and it sounds pretty bad, but I think it's actually doing a good job, oh yeah, of removing whatever's on the paint. Feels nice and smooth. It kind of already felt smooth, but you can hear the contamination being removed with the clay mitt also. Once you're done with the clay mitt, the paint is nice and smooth. Go ahead and dry it. Use nice fluffy towels like this. They're gentle on the paint. They absorb water really well. Awesome. So the paint now is smooth, clean, and it's now ready to polish. Now this method can also be used to maintain your classic garage kept show vehicle. It's gentle, it's safe, and it's effective. Now with the paint clean, we can really look at the defects that are on the paint. Now, we are doing a paint enhancement, not a full correction. However, because it is a repaint job, I just want to get an idea of how much paint we're dealing with here. 9.6, 9.5. So yeah, you're looking at double the thicknesses. That is good. Average is around 4 to 4.5. So we are in a safe range here. Even if we wanted to go heavy and cut, we could. So we're going to look around the sides here and the doors. Just do this just to double check, just to get an idea. Oh wow, that's actually thinner. It could just be in certain areas.
5.
Okay. So in some areas might be lower than others. However, we're not doing a full correction here, so we're not overly concerned. We're just doing this just to have some peace of mind and understand how much paint we're dealing with here. Now those paint depth gauges read the entire layer: primer, color, and clear coat. This is not single stage, this is repainted with base coat, clear coat. Now as we look at the paint, you can really see all of those little pigtails there. That's just from wet sanding and not properly compounding it out. As we look on wifey's side here, oh man, oh look at that. Somebody attacked this with a rotary polisher incorrectly, so let's make that look better. Yeah, especially over here. So that made a huge improvement. Can we go a little bit further? Yeah, let's go a little bit further and see what we can do. But that made a big difference already. You can see from here to here. So let's go just a little bit further. We may have to pull out a microfiber disc. Now, when you're working on older vehicles like this, you do want to be careful. Use caution. There's going to be certain areas that you really can't polish or clean because maybe they're too sensitive, they're starting to rust, they're starting to fall apart. There were some areas on this truck that were like that, so we had to tread carefully. And always communicate well with the customer. Let them know that these types of older vehicles are not going to come out perfect. However, the customer is not worried about perfect. He wants it clean and he wants it glossy, and he does want the majority of the swirls and defects removed from the paint. So that's what we're doing. We're not going overboard here because the customer is neither paying for it and he doesn't need it to be that perfect. Now for all the chrome and metal pieces, we use the purest metal polish. This stuff is super potent. Do not smell it. Do not attempt to smell it because it's extremely strong. But it works really well on metals and especially chromes. So we hit all of these little chrome pieces and got them gleaming.
And for final protection, we're using Lithium's Ceramic Slam. This stuff is awesome. In fact, the new formulation is extremely easy to apply. And again, less is more. Do not over apply it. You will end up with some smearing. But if you do, just use a damp towel or maybe a mist of water to kind of level it out, and it will level out over time as well. But on gloss black paint, you don't want to see any type of smearing, so go lightly with this sealant. But this sealant is incredible, provides amazing gloss, slickness, and hydrophobics. Even though this is not a daily driver, I still want to make the paint look as good as it could, and this just added that final cherry on top. So I did jump in the bed of the truck, and I basically just wanted to clean up the black paint back there and add some gloss to it. So I used the Phoenix EOD Glossum Wax to do that with just a soft polishing pad. Basically just buzzing over it to make that gloss black pop. One final thing to do was just quickly clean the interior and give it a nice wipe down and clean all of the glass inside and out, and we're done.
Well, my friends, the C10 is done and it's looking gorgeous. Just look at this thing. Couldn't imagine a more beautiful thing. Now you may be wondering, hey, what's that light? It's the Scan Grip light. It's the big one that you can fit in your vehicle like this, and it has these nice little soft rubber grips, and it's okay if it's against the paint. It's soft rubber grips, and if you want, you can put a towel there if you so choose, but this is nice soft rubber, and when gently placed there, it will be fine. But the interior of this is looking insane. Beautiful. This thing is awesome. So we use Ceramic Slam, and it looks gorgeous. This is the way it should look.